My sincere greetings to you all. This is Master Abdullah Ngom on a 5 minutes spiritual journey, bringing this information to your attention for your consideration and hoping that it will worth some of your time, because that's all we can do. We don't have control beyond that. We even don't want to have control beyond that, even if we could, because that would violate the whole purpose of this journey, which is to enlighten one, to recognize and able to exercise their God-given will, to able to choose what to believe and not to believe, and empower their spirit to be the best version of themselves for the highest good of the collective. That's what this 5-element journey is all about. We are very aware of the odds that are against this information to be valued or taken or given a worthy attention. We understand the odds that are against it, because some might see it as hard to believe, and some might see it as just another Negro talking nonsense. We understand the odds for this information to be given a worthy attention. We understand that. There are two elements, which is all you need to conquer and control any people, whether individual, whether people of one community, or entire people of a nation. You only need these two formulas to conquer them and control them. And these formulas is how Africa was colonized. These two formulas, that's how slavery happens. And with this formula, that's how America was built. And many nations, all the horrors and injustices of humanity throughout the ages, till this very moment in time, all happen due to these two pillars, which are the main formula of the playbook of the elite, the evil system that unjustly ruling the world. And these are what we're going to talk about today in this 5-element spiritual journey. To conquer any type of people, you first need to dehumanize them. Then, the second, you need to keep them on the level of survival. When you keep anyone, individual, group of people, or entire nation, or entire continent, if you will, if you are able to keep them on the level of survival, you can control all of them. This is the playbook of the elite throughout the ages, and it's still relevant and effective at this very moment in time. That's how Africa was colonized. African dehumanized as savages. That's how the Europeans did it. Dehumanize them as savages, then walk in and colonize them. You see? Then when they colonize them, it's the same thing. That's how America was born. They dehumanize the native Indian as savages, and they were slaughtered. America was born. Whenever genocide is committed, one culture dehumanizes the other culture in order to inflict the horror they inflict on them. What happened? When these massive protests erupt, before you know it, they're going to start destroying things, burning things. And the media will focus on that part, the looting and the barbarism part. And there's a reason for that, because focusing on that barbarism part, you give them the formula they need to dehumanize the whole community as savages. Dehumanize them based on the acts. Though you see, when there's a looting, it's not only people of color who do the looting, but this is all to dehumanize one community. Because the Caratarians in which this all happened come from that community. So basically they are responsible for whatever happened. It's all staged to dehumanize one type of people. The media will focus on that part. Because what you're doing has nothing to do with the cause you claim to be fighting. What destroying someone else's business, burning it to the ground, what that had to do with Black Lives Matter? You're creating, as a matter of fact, more division, more hate. Because if I work so hard to build a life, and you come destroy it, burn it to the ground, and you want me to join your cause, you see, you just have created another enemy. Victimize someone who has nothing to do with what happened to you. All these stores are burned. They do not belong to the system. You see, you're doing exactly what the system wants you to do, because this is more money for the economy, because insurance will be paid, things will be rebuilt, many will be arrested, processed, they in the system database. You see, you playing their game is their part of their playbook. They want that. They need that, as a matter of fact. They need that in order to dehumanize the whole community. See? All these things, this propaganda, Black Lives Matter, even the slogan itself is destructive. The slogan of Black Lives Matter is dangerous. It's a weapon. It's a weapon to dehumanize the people. Black Lives Matter. That means all life matters except Black lives. Now we have to fight now for these poor colored people, for their lives to be mattered, to make Black Lives Matter. Make things worse. It's a very dangerous slogan. It's like the similar slogan that I used to hear when I was growing up in Africa. As a boy, young boy, 9, 10 years old, whenever I used to hear this slogan, it's like you just put a dagger in my guts. I used to be so angry, not even know why. Whenever I hear it, I feel so angry. It goes that ventre plein, petit negro est content. In translation, simply means a full belly or belly full, the little negro is happy. See? A very dangerous slogan. And when that formalizes in your mind, and basically mean when you give them food to eat, they're happy, they're good, that's all they need. Because that's the second stage of people, that's the second formula to keep people on that mindset of living for survival. Because when one is busy or trapped to live for survival, one will lose his will to strive for greatness, or to strive for their better version, because you're on mode of survival. That's how they keep Africa where it is, still being colonized. And the same system, you see that in America, same system, same playbook. That's what the warfare system is all about. To put people in the level of survival. Same slogan. Feed their belly and they good. Same slogan. Same people, same system. You see, it's used in Africa, it's being used here in America. The same people. Feed them and they good. How many people are in America? How many people live on the welfare system in the community? How many people? Just feed them and they're happy. Destroy their will. Destroy their will to strive for greatness. Destroy their will to strive for a better version of themselves. Because the welfare system is there, they can sit, stay home, watch TV, do nothing productive because the system will feed them. Same slogan. That's why when I used to hear it back in Africa growing as a boy, I did not understand why I used to get angry till in my adulthood. When I was sick, because as a child, as a 12 years old, 15, I was sick and tired seeing poverty. I hated. I said I will never live my life this way. No. I hate it. I could never accept it. I didn't accept it, could never accept it. Like I know, that's the reason this word used to bother me that much. Because I want more than a full body in this life. I want more than just a full body in this life. They're still doing the same thing. That's why all the African leaders, presidents, they all corrupted. Because their belly is full, so they good. So the enemy can come just rob everything. Take everything away. And leave his people dying from starvation. It's heartbreaking. The richest continent in this earth, in mineral, that is needed throughout the world. His people are living for survival. They are the charity case of the world. You see? Even though they sit in the land that the richest land in the whole planet, they are the charity case of the world. Why? And the mindset is the same slogan. Belly full, the little Negro is happy. They are kept because that slogan materialized. For many cannot see beyond that level of survival. Their belly is full, they live a comfortable life, is good. Life is good. You see? Living for survival. It destroyed your will to strive for your better version or for your full potential. That's what it does. What you see happening in the minority community, it happened only in that community. And this is the reason why. If Black life really matter to those who shouting, burning, doing all this senseless things, I call it senseless. They doing all this propaganda to blind people from the real issue that can dismantle the whole thing. The real problem that can be solved and dismantle the whole thing. They blind people from that for this nonsense march and right to be granted and so on and so forth. Just think about this. You go to any minority community, you'll see 10 years, 12 years old kids who's supposed to be in school, but they're wandering around in the street with guns, walking around with guns, terrorizing the neighborhood. Sometimes if they go to school, they take that terror to school. That's why many of the schools you see they have mental detective. People, children who have no business of having guns. Gangbangers who have no business of having guns. But everyone have guns. And now you expect the police to walk into this neighborhood with their hands in their pockets. You're not being realistic. See? You're asking the authority who's supposed to bring order to walk in a battlefield in a battlefield that there's no rules, there's no order, walk in a battlefield with their hand in their pockets. Facing children with guns who have no respect for each other or have respect of human life. The problem is not the police. If these people who have no business of carrying guns, if they do not carry guns, the police will not walk in there shooting someone accidentally or purposefully and say he thought they had guns, or pop them out, kill them and place gun on them, say they had a gun. Because the truth of the matter is like they had guns. You're already guilty. You're already guilty. And give these police officers who have evil intentions to do what they do. See? Give them the opportunity to do what they do. Because they can kill someone and justify it. See? It's not the police department, it's a community. We're not talking about the problem. Then we seen now in the political setting, field, Democrat, they said they have legislation that they have to present to Congress about police brutality, which is pure mockery and humiliation to the human intellect. They say Democrat because they seem to claim that Democrats are for the poor. They represent the needy. They represent the community. President Obama was a Democrat. Does not matter you're Democrat or Republican. They all belong to the same evil system that unjustly and manipulating the whole world. This is a part of playbooks throughout the ages. You're going to put this legislation asking for some rights. Then it will be passed, Congress. Then they say, yeah, victory, we have one more right. There's a millions more rights that are taken away from you. To be free to exercise your God-given free will. If you depend on the system, it will be another maybe 3,000 years. Because there was always a right to fight for. That's how they want it. This is an era of responsibility and character, as Dr. King prophesied. This is the moment. That's why I believe if Dr. King was here today, he will not be leaving any protest. He would have a better understanding of the system that he was fighting with. You think all this big march, all of a sudden erupting, almost rippling throughout the globe, you think it's because of Black Lives Matters, or the black community organized it, or it's because of the death of one individual. It's all orchestrated, controlled by the very same system you claim to fighting with. They are the one who organize all these things. It's part of the playbook. So, if Black Lives Matters to you, you should be advocating how to improve the quality of the lives of the black people. You're going to go help these kids, these children, to carry books instead of guns. Get the guns out of the neighborhoods. Just then you can diffuse the reason of one being shot by the police in the community or outside the community. Because where even a 10 or 12 years old child carry a gun, anyone within that community can be a victim of that reality. You see the formula of nonviolence. There's a saying, Christ gave the formula and Gandhi put it into work. And unfortunately, when Dr. King was putting into play, before it got materialized, he had to be taken out because it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous for this evil system of tyranny that's ruling the world. But that formula works. That is the playbook of the underdog. Because when Mahatma Gandhi was able to galvanize all community within his nation, the empire of tyranny had to pack their bags. That's the formula. Not to instigate or participate in their nature of destruction and violence. Not to participate, not to instigate it. Not to instigate it. Unfortunately, before Dr. King materialized that into the consciousness of the community, he had to be taken out because it's too dangerous. A system of tyranny who already label you as savages and want you to be violent as savages will not want you to be civilized. That's why all these protests work at their favor. Because burning and breaking things and destroying things that has nothing to do with the cause, that is not civilized. It's barbarism. And that's how the system runs it. That's why Dr. King, if he was here today, he would have a better understanding about the system he was fighting with. And for that, he will never ever lead or be part of any mass protest that will create the potential of this reality that can label his community savages. We know that the system have great confidence in this point in time that everything is working at their favor based on their playbook. But little do they know that the whole thing is about to come down and no one can stop it. That part they don't know. That part they don't know. Because the real enemy is soon to be revealed for all to see. And people will wake up from this nightmare or this sleeping mode to see reality as it is. To see reality as it is. All this chaos orchestrated by an evil system, the same old evil system that unjustly ruling the world throughout the ages. By their time is soon to come to an end. And this is a prophecy we truly believe in. This is a prophecy we truly believe in. So dear friend, I think I'm going to leave it here till next time. And as always, be well and God bless.